Peace, family. It's your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. Since the beginning of President Joe Biden's presidential term, people have been saying he is too old to be president. They have said that he doesn't have the mental strength and acuity, that he doesn't have the memory, that he doesn't have the stamina to be an effective president. Well, in recent months, those critiques, those calls for him to be assessed have only intensified. Some of them are fair. Some of the criticisms aren't fair. But one thing is for sure, President Biden's performance at yesterday's press conference did nothing to win him any favors.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, El-Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian.
Now, there's a lot there that we could talk about. The whole Egypt not wanting to allow humanitarian aid in is also just complete BS. It wasn't that they didn't want Palestinians to get kicked out of Palestine, to get kicked out of Gaza and not be allowed back in. But I'm gonna focus on another point here. The part where he has the senior moment. I want you to listen one more time to what President Biden said.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, El-Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian.
The president of Mexico. So we're talking about Gaza. We're talking about Egypt. We're talking about Abdel Fattah El-Sisi, the president of Egypt. And he calls him the president of Mexico. He's confusing Abdel Fattah El-Sisi with Andrés Manuel López Obrador, who is the president of Mexico. Now, this could just be a simple mistake. He's used to talking about border policy with Mexico, not border policy with Gaza. It could just be a simple mistake, a simple brain fart, a simple association error. But it's Joe Biden, y'all. He's 81 years old. At 81 years old, you get countries mixed up. At 81 years old, you get presidents mixed up. At 81 years old, you make mistakes. You have the quote unquote brain farts. That's all good. The problem is most people who are 81 ain't president. In fact, no one in American history who's 81 has been president. So this looks bad. It looks like he's getting confused. And at a moment where people are questioning his memory, his acuity, his physical ability, this does nothing to win him any favors. Now, again, I'm not saying Joe Biden doesn't know who the president of Egypt is. I'm not saying he doesn't know who the president of Mexico is. I'm not saying he doesn't know where Mexico is. I hope those things aren't true. I'd like to think that he just had a slight senior moment. But I'm going to tell you something. Two things, in fact. One, senior moments don't get better. You don't get sharper as you get older. And two, even if it was an honest mistake that any president would have made, and let me be clear, all presidents make those kinds of flubs. We just don't hyper focus on them. Mistakes like this are going to get circulated through media over and over again, like I'm doing right now. I get the self-critique. And it's going to make people question his fitness. It's going to make voters not want to vote for him. Now, look, Donald Trump ain't no spring chicken, and his mind ain't never been sharp. So I'm not saying vote Trump. Let me be very clear. I'm not saying vote Trump. What I am saying is that the Biden administration is going to have to get a handle on this. Because as people say that Biden can't talk and Biden can't remember, they're going to demand more interviews. They're going to demand more debates, and he's going to have to show up or look weak. So when he shows up, he has to avoid mistakes like this if he can. And if he can't, he might need to get out of the way and let somebody else run for president. All right, family, that's my 2 cents. Hit the like button if you feel what I'm talking about. Hit the subscribe button. Also hit that bell on the right side. That way you can get notifications when I put out new content. And of course, if you're so inclined, hit the join button and become a monthly subscriber to the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. See y'all later.